Welcome friends, welcome to our channel Learning and Development. On this particular channel, we are posting learning related to applied psychology, the various tools, techniques and the principles that you can apply for self-improvement. If you have not subscribed the channel, I request you can subscribe the channel for continuous learning and development. Also, you can press the icon bell so that you don't miss any notifications or any new videos which are uploaded subsequently. So let us start the session. Today's session I have taken is on understanding problem solving. This is one of the very important and useful skill. Being very good at problem solving itself is an asset. So let us get into the subject from the psychological point of view. So when it comes to problem solving, so problem can be any issue, actual or perceived, that need to be resolved. So I've used the word here actual as well as perceived. Sometimes what happens is it need not be the actual problem. We have some kind of a presumptions that there's perception. You need to understand. It may not be the actual problem, but in your thought it is there. It's kind of a virtual problem that you feel that it is a problem. So that's the reason. So problem can be any issues that need to be resolved. And problem solving is a mental process. You need to understand. So a lot of cognitive things goes into this. A lot of analytical part, your creativity, your intelligence, your approach, your belief systems, your individuality, your personality. So there's a lot of hidden factors, that whole concept of information processing goes inside your brain. So problem solving is a mental process, and the ultimate goal of problem solving is to overcome obstacles and find a solution that best resolves the issue. So this is a brief on problem solving. Let us get into the subject more. So having a good problem solving skill is an asset, as we all encounter problems in various dimensions of our life. You can correlate from any of the dimensions, whether you are a student struggling with your study skills, or any relationship issues, your working employees with a boss relationship, your own creativity, between the children and the parent, the teachers. I mean, you come across problem in various dimensions of your life. It could be health related, finance related, or your own personality related. So all problems, including your academic sums which you solve, the mathematical sums, the sums in the physics, chemistry, all can be categorized as a problem. But yes, some of these problems are obviously more severe or complex than others. Some of them you are able to resolve very easily. Some of them you are not able to resolve, and they become very complex. The various reason behind that, you will be able to understand why the problem solving itself is a complex problem when the kind of problems approaches you. So unfortunately, though there is no one way in which we all problems can be solved, but there are certain steps which you can follow. So what we can do is, I'll be going through this video and I'll be discussing the certain steps on that. All the problems, whatever you face in various dimensions of your life, try to set in those parameters, those steps, through those process flow, and let us see what best can be done. Because what I'm trying to figure out here is, there, yes, the problems will be simple as well as complex. They will have a different natures, but though we have the diversity of the problems, we have certain steps which we can actually follow, and come to a good solution. So that is the whole purpose of a problem solving. So let us understand the basic steps. The four basic steps involved in problem solving are: number one, defining the problem. That is, you identify the problem in a particular manner. So this is a very critical and important stage. I'll just give you an example. Say for example, you are a working employee and you walk in your boss cabin, and there is some kind of shouting or miscommunication has happened. uh, so let us say this, you come across some kind of there is some kind of emotional disbalance in you. So suppose you want to solve this problem, so that your boss is not shouting at you quite often, and you improve on your working style. So what is happening is, at this stage you will be defining the problem. So the problem could be: number one, your boss is shouting on you regularly or frequently, you get scolding from your boss. Or the other thing could be, the defining the problem in such a manner that I am getting upset when my boss is scolding. So these are the two different aspects the same problem can be defined. So it is more on defining the problem. I'm just giving you a small concept. It's a very big scenario. The first step itself, if you go wrong, even the best solution you get for your problem may not be the actual solution for your problem, because the whole thing you have defined your problem in a wrong manner. The problem could be that you are getting affected, or you are an emotional person, or you got disturbed because of the scoldings of your boss, but you have defined in another manner that your boss is scolding you. So these are two different problems, please understand. So hope this concept is clear. That's the reason this defining the problem is very very critical and important stage. Now getting into the later stages, there is something called generating the alternatives. So basically here I have talked about the divergent thinking approach, wherein you figure out various possibilities, to what could be the various possibilities, all possible answers you figure out, what all possible solutions, even if it has a 0.1% of success, you figure it out. And then comes the third step, it is evaluating and selecting the alternative. That is again the convergent approach. So this divergent and convergent approach in your thinking process can actually help you. Unfortunately, we have not developed our divergent thinking approach more in Indian scenarios. We see, as we grow, we have uh, more practice on analytical subjects, even the creativity and the lot of things which which by the means by which we can develop our divergent thinking are put into extracurricular activities. And in the mainstream there is something called subjects wherein more focus is on a particular answer, and also that could be one of the reason wherein you are not able to work on your creativity. So that's the reason what I'm trying to bring it here is, it's the creativity, the brain, the creativity of the brain is very very important. And in that aspect, both this divergent as well as convergent thinking are very very important. So let us develop more on the divergent thinking also as a personality also. So when we figure out lot of options, opportunities are more to select one or two options. Then suppose you have only two options, then you don't have a choice, either this or that. But if you have more options, then there is possibility of choices increases. So that is on divergent. And then next step is the convergent approach on evaluating these alternatives. Once this is done, the again the fourth step, that is implementation, the solution. So when it is come to implementing, again we go wrong, because what happens is we do it, and then once if we are we are success, or even if it is a failure, once it is a failure, it is very tough for us to again go back. And the overcoming failure is again a hurdle for us. So there is something called PDCA cycle, that is plan, do, check, act. So you should have a detailed action plan once you figure out the solution. And when you implement it, that is you have planned it, the plan, the solution, and when you do it, when you implement it, then you have to do some kind of a checking correction. If it is some small modification is required, or it need to be changed, or any other, then again you have to act and keep on doing this. This is a cycle, PDCA cycle. So basically the whole idea to bring here is, there are four basic steps in solving your problems when it comes to problem solving approach. Even the problems in your academics, when you are solving, let it be mathematical problems or physics or chemistry, conceptual problems, you generally have you follow a method, like what is given in the problem, then you do what is to be solved or to be proved or to find out, then what are the possible formulas we can use. That is divergent approach. And then again convergent approach is, out of these all formulas, which one is suitable here, then you do the calculation and put the answers. So basically these steps are very very important when it comes to problem solving. But in each step there is a lot of cognitive activities involved. Cognitive activities is a lot of thought process is involved, where I have talked about divergent and convergent approach. The identification of problem itself is a big subject. So hope this concept of four basic steps in any problem solving is clear. uh, Now let us get into more, like what are the challenges we see. So generally it looks that okay, it is very easy, we can actually solve, but there are some challenges because of which we are not able to solve the problem. Even the approach of the problem goes wrong, and these are some of the challenges. The number one is our assumptions. That is a very biggest mental baggage we carry when we approach the problem, you know. It could be change in our personality, it could be achieving something which, you know, feel which is next to impossible. It could be something which is, you know, there is something called our belief systems or value is getting at a stake. So there, you know, these are some of the challenges which come across. So mostly assumptions, we are not, you know, willing to change whatever we carry the mental baggage throughout our lifespan, so we are not able to challenge those assumptions. So that is one area. The second aspect is your belief systems and the values. I've taken a detailed videos on schema, that is your mental framework. That if you understand better, you will be able to understand what I'm talking about, the challenges. Our self concept itself, you know, I'm not good at solving this, I'm not good at this, I don't have that skills. Especially the self confidence part is very, very critical. And once we, you know, start solving problems and we are not getting results, then it becomes very tough to, you know, again gain the self confidence. And once that is done, our level of aspiration, that is our motivation, also get affected. So these are some of the challenges. Either we carry mental baggages, or the schema which we have, the mental framework we have, or our self confidence, or the amount of motivations we need. Say for example, you have seen in your lower classes also, you have seen some of these students, you know, very eager to solve these sums, because their level of aspiration is on a realistic side, wherein they get motivated to solve the sums. Whereas some of the people, you know, when once the sum is there, they read, they are, you know, helpless, they feel, no, no, I don't know what to do, and then they straight away, you know, leave that. So that also is a problem solving approach. The more problems early in your life if you solve, you know, you will get that confidence back in you, and that will reflect in your personality once you grow up. So please engage yourself in a lot of creative activities. That is what I'm trying to bring it here. So apart, if these challenges we are not able to overcome, yes, we need to take a help of some experts or a mentor or a coaching we need to take up to, you know, overcome our challenges. Now the question came is, what can be done? Very simple. What we have to do is, there is something called creative problem solving approach, is a way of solving problems or identifying opportunities when the conventional thinking has failed. So we have been, you know, getting the same results, which because we are giving and we are using the same methodologies. So there's a time to actually have some kind of a creative problem solving approach. And in this approach, what we do is we work on improving our creativity. So please understand, there's something called creativity center in your brain, which is very, very critical. And if your creativity center is active, the brain itself will develop a lot of creative ideas and suggestions and solutions to the problems. And there is something called neuroplasticity, which I have made a detailed video on that, where I have discussed about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, and how the neurons are actually, you know, wired together, wherein your mental framework, the wiring of the brain, you know, is fixed. So the people who have got a fixed mindset, you know, they, it becomes very tough for them to solve even a problem which is very obvious and very easy to solve, because they are not willing to change their thought process and perception as such. So there we need to do a lot of counseling. You know, we come into picture, even the small problems of their life, the day to day problems, you know, they may be facing issues in their families, so it could be family problems, or the family problems are affecting the performance at the workplace, or they are getting very emotional, the emotional problems, personality, you know, issues are there, they are getting very sensitive, or they are experiencing a lot of negative emotions like anxiety, stress, or anger. So this is also a kind of a problem. And you know, the problem solving itself is an asset, so if you can have that skill. But what I'm trying to figure out here is, one we have discussed is the steps which are involved in the problem solving, but at each steps there is a lot of cognitive things goes, and creativity is one of the detailed thing which is there. I have made a very detailed video on understanding creativity. I'll also mention that particular link in the description box, so that you can go through this, both these presentations. Neuroplasticity and creativity will make you understand like what can be done to improve your problem solving ability. And yes, the confidence part, that is your personality part, is also very, very important, because once you're confident, your level of aspiration is realistic, you set up a lot of goals, you know, look forward to solve the problems, and then you start experiencing problems as an opportunity for you to growth and development. So hope this particular presentation is clear. It's a very brief on what is the approach on problem solving, and we have discussed about the various challenges which we face during the problem solving, and what can be done to improve this problem solving skill. So for any coaching, counseling and consulting, you can contact me on 9949811068, or you can email me. Hope you have liked this presentations. I would be happy to answer to your comments and suggestion in the comment box below the videos. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed the channel, you can subscribe it for continuous learning and development. On this particular channel, we are posting learnings related to the applied psychology, the various tools and techniques that you can apply for your self improvement. Thank you. Thank you so much.